Hey y'all, so real quick before I go to the gym and getting these people away, so y'all listen, I almost let these house plants convince me that I was failing at life. And I know that sounds real dramatic, but listen, I just want to tell you what happened. So last year, y'all, if you followed me, you know that I started my garden. I had my house plants going. I was all in, y'all. I had prayed to the Lord, like, give me a green thumb. And for a while there, I was like, oh, God, He answered my prayer. Like, my plants was doing good. My garden was thriving. It was looking good. You know, I had all kind of vegetables coming my way, and I was paying attention. You know, I was watering. I was checking the leaves and moving things around and pulling out any kind of weeds. And I was just learning. I was learning what needed light, what needed less water, what needed to be left alone altogether. But this year, no ma'am. No ma'am, no sir, not so much. My garden didn't do the same because it didn't get the same attention. And some of my house plants, they looking at me like, ma'am, what happened? And I got a snake plant that it's been on a struggle, but it's been on a struggle bus because I overwatered it, y'all. And I know, come on, a snake plant, like, it's supposed to be one of the easiest plants to grow in your home, but yeah, I didn't do so hot. And I was looking at myself like, now, okay, how did we get here? But here's what I also had to tell myself. This year is not last year. Like, I got a whole studio. My schedule is changing. Business is moving. Like, I have sessions and events and collaborations, and I'm getting ready to go on a wellness retreat for myself. And all of these things are happening, and my hands just have been in different places. And so at first I was feeling bad. I was feeling bad about it. And like, I felt like maybe I had failed at having a green thumb, but the truth is, I didn't lose a rhythm. My season changed. And so I wonder how many of us are doing this in other areas of our lives. We will take something, that worked in the past, in a past season, and then use it as proof that we are failing in this season when actually we're just living. But we'll say things like, oh man, I used to work out. I used to cook all the time. I used to journal more. I used to keep my house so well put together, and I just used to be so much more consistent. And that could all be true, but maybe the question is not, what happened to me? What am I doing wrong? But maybe the question is, what season am I actually in right now? Because you're not failing because, of the rhythm from your last season. It just doesn't fit this season. And you can't give 100% to everything at the same time and then still call it softness. No, you're going to burn out. And something is going to get less. It's going to get less from you in certain seasons. And so that's not always meaning that you're failing. Sometimes it just means that God might have your attention somewhere else. And sometimes it means that your life is asking you to chill out, simplify some things. Sometimes it means that that old rhythm was good for that season, but it doesn't fit this one. So my mom even had me plant sitting for her, and at first her plant was doing just like mine. It was doing very well. And then I got busy and maybe it started looking a little rough. And I felt bad because, it's my mama's plant, but she was not upset at all. Like, she was not pressed at all. She was like, yo, it did better than it would have had it not been for you. And, I had to sit with that because how many times do we do that? How many times do we ignore the care that we give because it was not perfect? Like, how many times do we look at what did not go the right way in our eyes, and we completely dismiss what still survives because we just showed up? Maybe you're not failing. Maybe this season is asking for something softer. And so that's something I want you to ask yourself. What rhythm am I trying to force that no longer fits the life that I'm living right now? And not the stuff that looks good on paper, not what somebody else is doing, not what worked 3 years ago, but what actually supports you right now. Because a rhythm your body can trust, it has to fit your actual lifestyle. And it does not have to be complicated, y'all. It may not need to be a whole new routine. It could be just 30 seconds. 30 seconds before you open up your phone. 30 seconds while you sitting in the ATM drive through. Y'all know it be a minute sometimes. Folks don't always know the buttons they want to push. But anyways, just 30 seconds before you rush into the next thing. Like, time to feel support, to soften an area of your body, to give a deep exhale and ask yourself, what do I need next? Because that's rhythm too. Like, that actually counts. And you can be consistent without being cruel to yourself. You can build a rhythm without forcing it, right? And you can start again without any shame, around your last season and how it went versus this season. And I can always go and I can buy another plant, and I will. So I just want to say, if your body has been asking for something softer, I also would like to invite you to the space that I'm holding for you this week. Sacred Rest and Sound Healing Sessions are available on Saturday at 6 p.m. this week, as in tomorrow. But I'll be there on Monday at 6, Tuesday at 11. And before you start beating yourself up over something that, doesn't look the way it used to, just ask yourself, did I really lose the rhythm, or did my season just change? Y'all be still. God's got the rest. Now let me go get these people away.